Hello, Nick Lyles again for my Unit 5 speech project. I'd like to apologize for sitting number 1, but I've got a sprained ankle I'm dealing with right now. It's more comfortable to sit than stand on crutches. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I am here to talk about is something that's been in the news a lot recently, and something that I feel deserves a lot of attention, which is the program of stop and frisk. In its 1968 decision of Terry v. Ohio, the U.S. Supreme Court ruled that a police officer could stop and frisk any citizen based on a reasonable suspicion that a crime had been committed. This departed from a time-honored standard of probable cause and allowed police to search any person who they felt was a suspicious individual. One of the biggest places where stop and frisk was implemented was in New York City in the early 1990s. And they called it Crackdown on Crime. Stop and frisk seemed like a prime program to help remove petty crimes from the street and help get criminals off of it. However, what started as a good idea with good motives slowly turned into a way to discriminate and profile minorities. I believe stop and frisk is discriminatory, unconstitutional, and creates a worse relationship between police officers and the communities they serve. Stop and frisk violates the Fourth Amendment as it is a legal search and seizure. The Constitution guarantees you rights not to be illegally searched, but without probable cause, that's just what it is. It's an invasion, it's a violation of privacy, and an attempt to hopefully convict someone of a crime. It violates the 14th Amendment as it fails to recognize due process and the Equal Protection Clause. Everyone should have equal protection under the law and no group should be singled out. But stop and frisk was declared unconstitutional because it violates the same clause, targeting minorities at an extremely disproportionate rate. In 2013, New Yorkers were stopped and frisked by police 191,558 times. 105,000 of those were blacks, 56%. 56,000 of them were Latino, 29%, and 21,000 of them were white, 11%. Mind you that the population of New York City is overwhelmingly 60% white. So this is clearly a disproportionate target of minorities at unstable rates. These numbers show clear bias towards stopping minorities, and in the case of Floyd versus the City of New York, Judge Scheidlin, who presided over the case, came to the same conclusion, stating, "In conclusion, I find that the city is liable for violating the plaintiff's case for violating the plaintiff's 4th and 14th Amendment rights. The city acted with deliberate indifference towards the NYPD's practice of making unconstitutional stops and unconstitutional frisks." Stop and frisk not only targets minorities at a disproportionate rate, but destroys relationships between the police and the community members at large. Out of those 191,000 people who were stopped in 2013, 170,000 of them were found to be innocent. That's 88% of people who were stopped for no reason other than seeming suspicious to a police officer. That completely ruins the trust between community members and police. Being continually stopped and harassed has even turned out violent in some instances. On July 17, 2014, Eric Garner was killed by police after an instance of stop and frisk. Garner was standing on the corner when he was accused of police officers of selling loose cigarettes. He continually asked, "Why are you always stopping me? What have I done?" But the police wouldn't listen. He was then put into a chokehold, an illegal tactic by police officers, and was put into a chokehold for 19 seconds. He was then put down with his face in the ground, with an officer's knee on his face and neck. After 80 seconds of this treatment, Eric Garner died. Stop and frisk is unconstitutional, discriminatory, and ruins relationships between police and the community members they serve. It has been proven ineffective and has only done more harm than good. Thousands of innocent people stopped every year in the hopes that police officers can pin something on them. It ruins the trust that we have. It ruins the trust that we have in those that mean to protect us. And on an even bigger level, it helps feed the It helps defeat the for-profit prison industry, giving them high volumes of nonviolent criminals who are easy to manage. We need to come together and end stop and frisk. It is unconstitutional, un-American, and we must continue to believe in ideas like being guilty until proven correction. We must continue to believe in ideas like innocent until proven guilty. And we must understand that search and seizure must be conducted legally. Thank you.